Justice delayed is justice denied. One of the main reasons I want to talk to you today about the death penalty is because in the world today there's a lot of crime and hate and people going to jail going on, and honestly a lot of people don't know what exactly is going on, how much money they're spending, what's actually going on in that part of our world. In the words of author J.R.R. Tolkien, many that live deserve life, many that live deserve death, and some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them? Then do not be eager to deal out death and judgment. One may ask, what exactly is the death penalty? The death penalty, also known as capital punishment, is a form of punishment that involves executing a person after he or she has been found guilty by the government. This way of punishment could be done to hinder the individual from committing any other crimes. Society has evolved in putting people to death in many different ways. The effectiveness of the death penalty is clearly displayed in its ability to aid in lower overcrowding jails, reduce tax dollars for inmate support, and making the crime rate go down. One of the many ways the death penalty could be an effective system would be it could help lower overcrowding jails. The idea behind this, if the criminals were sent to death penalty, then there would not be overcrowding, the jails would not be so overcrowded. The question is the death penalty really a solution for overcrowding jail facilities? In fact, to build each prison costs about $30 million. Corruption has crept into every fabric of the Philippine society. Corruption is not only happening in government, but even in the private sector and the religious sector. In the Philippines, due to not having the death penalty, prisons have become more overcrowded than ever. As the head of the subcommittee of the Prevention of Torture delegation in the Philippines, Suzanne Gerber said, "We hope and expect that the government of the Philippines will use our report to improve the conditions of people deprived of their liberty, in particular by dealing with the chronic problem of overcrowding in the places of detention." Another way the death penalty can be an effective system would be by reducing tax dollars. The idea is that the money each taxpayer spends to keep a criminal in jail would be deducted by putting them on the death penalty. President Abraham Lincoln said, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves, and under a just God cannot long retain it." Another example for this could be Charles Manson, who was known for being a serial killer. He was put on death row March 29, 1971. However, in 1972, he was deprived of it. When California decided they were taking the death penalty away, they didn't want it anymore, they wanted it gone. This resulted in Charles Manson sitting in jail since 1971. For taxpayers, they have paid over millions and millions of dollars by having Charles Manson sit in jail. However, if they would have put him on the death penalty, they had to pay $90,000, and that's it. Just one payment of $90,000. With the death penalty, tax dollars would come down, which would be cheaper for taxpayers. But without it, taxpayers could have more money than what it's worth for the criminals to take up the space in the jail cell. Finally, another way the death penalty could be an effective system would be it could help the crime rate go down. The idea is that if the criminal knew what the punishment for their crime was, they wouldn't want to pay the time. For example, say someone kills somebody. If they knew, hey, if I kill this person, I'm gonna die too, they might not kill that person. When a criminal knows the chance of them living to see another day is slim to none, then the likelihood of them committing the crime could go down. In many cases, when a murderer has given the death penalty due to a murder, the crime rate has plummeted. However, since 2001, the decline for the death penalty has resulted in more murders. When crooks talk to you in a very upright manner, they'd say, "Oh, I'd never commit a murder in a state that has the death penalty." I mean, people have actually said that to me, says police officer Gary De La Raguez. 10 out of 12 states who do not have the death penalty have a below average homicide rate. It is difficult to make the case for a Darrington effect for these numbers, criminologist Stephen Messer states. In conclusion, the best way to reduce crime is to enforce the death penalty. The death penalty could put an effect on people by helping overcrowding jail cells, making the tax rate go down, and making the murder rate go down. I do not think you should support the death penalty to seek revenge. I do not think that's right. I think the reason to support the death penalty is because it saves other people's lives, President George W. Bush exclaims. So, In reality, the best and most effective way for us to keep crime down and keep money from us not going into debt anymore is the death penalty. And all we have to do this is by lower overcrowding jail cells. This will make the tax rates go down and it'll make crime go down. This is an awesome opportunity that really America should look into.